What's up everybody, it's Man of Low Moral Fiber here. My name's Luke, and in this video I'm going to be running through the Rustyards at overpower level 8 with Melee Zer0. Since I was going back and doing some 60 frames per second remakes, I wanted to go ahead and do the Rustyards. One of the reasons is the Rustyards is one of the very first videos I ever uploaded to YouTube. You know, it's all silent. Well, it's not silent, I guess the in-game sound's there, but it's bad quality. There's no commentary or anything like that. But it's like one of the first videos I uploaded to YouTube. In fact, it may very well be the very first video I uploaded to YouTube at all. And one of the reasons for that is that the Rustyards is my absolute favorite map in Borderlands 2. Now, there are some things I would really like the Rustyards to have that the Rustyards doesn't have. For example, some mini-bosses. But other than that, I think it is a very well-designed map. I think it's challenging, and it puts you fighting in some weird scenarios, fighting uphill a lot of the time, and I think it's just pretty cool. Some of the pirate enemies, like the Anchormen and stuff like that, can be fun and challenging to fight with Melee, at least Melee Zer0. I haven't done too much of the pirate DLC with Krieg. Anywho, there are also some enemies, like these powder monkeys here, who are kind of dangerous to Melee, because if you hit them in the wrong spot, you're going to end up blowing yourself up. And that's pretty cool as well. All of this map is pretty cool. There are a few barrels in it, but it's not so much barrel abundance as there is, you know, like in some maps like Washburn Refinery and some from the vanilla game as well. I really do enjoy this map quite a bit, not only play style wise, but aesthetically as well. I think it is one of the more beautiful maps in Borderlands 2. I really like the way that you work your way back and forth and across and up this chasm. I think that that's well designed. And even though the quests in here aren't really too inspired, I guess you'd say. Obviously, the first time you come through it, you're picking up all of Herbert's echoes, and some of those are actually kind of funny. But then the next quest to come through here is just to pick up some rust scrap that's, you know, pretty much in similar locations as the echoes. You know, they're just kind of 4 or 5 of them spread out throughout the map. And even though that's an uninspired quest, I did like that quest because you got to come back to this map. And I just thought that this map was pretty cool. Right now we're inside one of the ships that is crashed on one of the sides of the chasm. And it's pretty difficult to melee in here a little bit because the surfaces in here don't always strip your shield when you throw your grenade, and the enemies will jump around a little bit, and it's just a pretty cool little area to fight in. And obviously there are multiple different scenarios that you fight in this particular map, and I think it makes it really, really fun. I don't see anyone else ever talk about liking the Rustyards or whatever, so I guess I'm pretty unique in my affection for this particular map. So we're going to get to the next section here, where there's going to be kind of a close quarters spot right here on this decking, and then we get out into the open there, and they drop an Anchorman down on you, and it can be kind of chaotic there, and you'll have some snipers that are on the far decking over there, and it can just be, you know, kind of a dangerous area to fight. Now, I don't think this is the hardest map in the game by any means, but I do think that it is challenging, and I really enjoy it. Today I got my second graphics card in. Now I have 2 NVIDIA 980s that are the EVGA superclocked versions, and I'm liking that quite a bit. I ran some 3D Mark tests and stuff like that, and that was pretty cool. I actually had a little bit of an issue getting the SLI to work at first. I plugged it in, you know, I put the SLI bridge on, and unfortunately it just wasn't working at first. Like, I couldn't figure out why. I did some troubleshooting. I switched the slots, you know, moved the top car to the bottom and vice versa, and a couple other things as well, just to try to figure it out, made sure all my drivers were up to date, etc. And then after about an hour of troubleshooting, I tried turning the SLI bridge upside down, and that fixed all my problems, and so I like that quite a bit. Unfortunately, though, Borderlands 2 does not benefit from SLI, and neither does Borderlands the pre-sequel, and that's because they're kind of shoddily designed console ports. And, you know, I don't mean to rag on consoles all the time, but Jesus Christ, why do they have to hold games back so bad? I'll never understand. One day people will stop playing those pieces of shit, and all games will have SLI support, and it will be glorious. I mean, even Goat Simulator benefits from SLI. It doesn't make sense that Borderlands 2 and Borderlands pre-sequel literally perform worse with SLI enabled than they do with SLI disabled. That's just nonsense. I guess I could use the second card as a dedicated PhysX processor, but I don't really like PhysX. Some people are real big fans of it, but I think it's just kind of ugly and distracting. But that's just me, you know. And it's not too big a deal since that SLI doesn't work, because with one 980 I can maintain 144 frames per second at almost all times anyway, so that works out pretty well. We're going to be moving on now. This little intermission here, it's okay. The spider ants aren't that challenging. I guess the big gallant spider ants can push you off the edge, so that's something to watch out for. And I guess theoretically you could die to the fire damage over time from these little fire spider ants, but these fire spider ants aren't quite as tough as the fire spider ants from Digistruct Peak, which obviously I always give special caution to and stuff like that, because if you catch that damage over time and die to it, that's always super aggravating, especially since they disappear and run away a lot. Anytime you cross this bridge, you do get the effect like the Leviathan is roaring, and I thought that was kind of a weird glitch. But that's what's happening there when you walk across it, and it looks like there's an earthquake going on or something. You don't hear the Leviathan sound effect, but you do get that ground-shaking roar effect. So now we're getting in here where it's another inside of a boat, and this particular sequence can be rather difficult because you are fighting straight uphill, and it's kind of a little bit strange and counterintuitive, because there are enemies that will jump down on top of you as you've already climbed up a little bit, and you kind of might need to retreat at some points in time just because they're right on top of you and you're kind of stuck a little bit. And it can be a little bit difficult, this little part here, and that's just one of the things I like about this map. It puts you in some weird scenarios that you don't really find too many other places within the game, and I like that quite a bit. It's a very unique map, and I kind of like the way that it all circles back on itself, and after you've completed it, you'd be able to ride that trolley thing back to the fast travel, and I like that quite a bit. I like it when maps are circular like that. Not all maps, obviously. Some maps need to be linear where they get you from point A to point B, but when you're in a roundabout map like this or Southpaw Steam and Power, I like how it kind of loops around on itself. I think that's pretty cool. It wouldn't be good if every map does that, but the maps that do that, because they're kind of rare, are kind of cool to me. I like those quite a bit. Now, like I said, I would really like for this particular map to have a mini-boss or two that would really make it complete, but even without that, it's still my favorite map in the game. I spend a little bit of time here trying to shoot at this turret, but it doesn't blow up for me. I also just like the pirate aesthetic of this all. Captain Scarlett and her pirate's booty is my favorite of the campaign DLCs. I really enjoyed all the missions. I enjoyed the Captain Blade dialogue. I enjoyed Captain Scarlett as a character, and I enjoyed the unique enemies, even though there aren't too many. Some of them are kind of simple reskins, but there are some unique enemies like the powder monkeys, the cursed pirates, the anchormen, the guys that throw the pikes. I forget what those guys are called, but they throw like little harpoons or whatever. Those guys are pretty neat, and it seems like the super badass pirates are kind of abundant in this particular DLC. They are more common than badass marauders, I've noticed, and that can be pretty cool because it does add another degree of difficulty to it. And again, I really do like the whole aesthetic of this map. We're up high in the chasm now, and if you look down to where the map starts, you can see it all, and that's pretty cool. I like that a lot, and I like how the ship there is stuck and it crosses the little canyon there, and that's pretty neat. And this little spider ant area, it can be difficult depending on which spider ant spawns you get and everything like that, but it's not quite as difficult as the pirate spots, and I guess that's kind of good as an intermission or kind of a breather after you finish that real difficult part where you're going up the ship there and you're having to fight multiple badass pirates and some pirate ninjas usually that come in and sneak up on you and stuff. I think it's pretty neat. This particular run was filmed when the game was kind of at night. I think the map looks even better during the day, but even at night it looks pretty damn cool. So we're just going to finish off the rest of these dudes here. And we're getting pretty close to the end of the video. We got to go across this ship here where there's going to be a couple anchormen and a few more spider ants up there, and also another turret. And then we jump down and there's a few more spider ants, and I finished the video by Herbert's shack. So as always, guys, I do thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you haven't yet taken the time to subscribe, please do so. I'd appreciate that as well. All of my videos that I upload are going to be in 1080p and 60 frames per second. If you're someone who likes, you know, the high quality YouTube videos, at least high video quality. I'm not sure if all of the production and everything else is high quality. You know, it's just a one-man operation here at Man of Low Moral Fiber. But, you know, I try, and I do enjoy making these videos, and I definitely appreciate you guys watching them. Thank you for helping me afford the NVIDIA 980 GTX and stuff like that. Well, both of them. I could have bought it with money from my real job, but I like to keep my computer paid for with basically just YouTube, and you guys definitely help out with that. And so don't think it goes unappreciated. I definitely appreciate that, guys. It's not something I take lightly. I thank you very much for watching my videos. And, you know, if anyone saw the very first video that I put up that was this map and everything, and you're coming full circle and seeing it again now, you know, thank you a lot. I really appreciate that. Like I said, we're finishing off this video now. I will show you my gear and skill build at the end of this. Obviously, I use these Fire and Slag Pimpernel heavily in this video as well. Those are the weapons I like to augment my Melee Zer0 with when I'm not using the melee attacks. I find that they're very potent and fun to use. Obviously, I was also using the Rapier and Grog Nozzle, along with the Height of Terramorphous, Chain Lightning Grenade, Bone of the Ancients, and Legendary Ninja Class mod. I'll be sure to show you all that gear and my skill build at the end of this. One more time, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I do appreciate it, and I do hope to catch you next time. Bye, guys.